No one is talking about this big issue going on with Shohei Ohtani, and we really should be because baseball is starting now, folks. Welcome into Bad for Baseball, the baddest baseball podcast on the internet, presented to you by Betway. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlock, joined alongside by Adam Peddle. Folks, we got some actual MLB baseball going on tomorrow. First game of the season, Cubs, Dodgers, Ohtani, Imanaga. It's elite, folks. It is electric, and I love that they are doing this stuff, and we're going to break down that series, as well as a conversation that is going really under the radar right now surrounding Shohei Ohtani, who we really believe needs to be talked about a lot more. So we're going to get into all of that and more. Before we do, please hit that like, smash the subscribe button, and let us know your thoughts down below. Baseball tomorrow, Adam.
Dude, I'm excited, man. I kind of got hyped that you said that because we've been waiting a long time. I mean, for the rest of us in the MLB, opening day is 9 days away.
It's March 17th. Yeah.
About 9 days away. So yeah, it's a little bit of time, but we get some really cool, a really cool series, 2-game series in Japan between the Cubs and the Dodgers, and you're going to see all the favorites too. You're going to see, the Imanagas of the world, the Yamamotos. You're going to see Roki Sasaki, who just got signed by the Dodgers, going up against another elite pitcher in Justin Steele. So that's all great. That's super excited. I love that. But Shohei Ohtani, I was kind of shocked to read about this. Now, in my mind, we actually just had our fantasy drafts. In the back of my mind, I was like, maybe I'm going to pick Shohei Ohtani, the pitching version of
I was
Shohei,
thinking the same thing.
because he's just the Wayne Gretzky of baseball, and he's split up into two people. But then I kept looking, and I was like, wait, why? What's going on? We still don't know when he's going to be posted. We still don't know when he's going to be pitched. But they were asking about Ohtani. I asked Ohtani about him in Japan, saying, hey, what is the progression? When can we, finally see you pitch on a major league mound? Because apparently he stopped throwing. He just stopped all his throwing progressions during spring training, and nobody was talking about it. But he finally came out and broke his silence on the subject right here. This is an article here from the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is SI.com. And down here you can see the quote where he kind of broke his silence, saying, I wanted to prioritize the hitting aspect as we're getting into the season to get a little bit of breather mentally and physically on the pitching side of things. Ohtani said his interpreter in Japan, this is according to the plan. I'm quite pleased with how things are going. However, nobody really knows exactly when he's going to make his pitching debut, and Ohtani didn't provide an estimate on that either. And I wanted to bring that up to you in this podcast so we can have a little discussion here. Obviously, last year, Ohtani didn't pitch at all, and he was phenomenal, still won MVP. But the Dodgers, when they signed the contract initially, I think the idea was that he would be pitching again in 2025 after he got his Tommy John. How does this kind of make you feel that maybe right now we're not prioritizing the pitching? What are your thoughts on this?
Listen, I imagine that this isn't just, his solo decision. I would anticipate that the Dodgers and Dave Roberts, all those guys, they're part of this too, and they're on board with everything that's happening. I think that when they signed that $700-odd million contract, the intention was that eventually you are going to throw the baseball for us on the mound. That was the intention from everybody, right? However, that being said, 9-point whatever WAR that you had last year as just a hitter, as just a DH, right? Not even that's the thing. Not even out there in the field, no defensive WAR whatsoever. You are just doing that with the bat and with your legs. We are still pretty happy right now. So honestly, I do think that we are going to see Shohei Ohtani get to the mound at some point. But the beautiful thing about the Dodgers is that, and we say this with every other team, right? Don't rush your guys back. Don't force the agenda. Don't push the envelope here, because that's when people get hurt. That's when people, have bad performances. That's when things fall off the rails. As the LA Dodgers stand right now, there is no need, no reason, no real, it's not like a fire's burning to get this thing going. You don't need him right now. You genuinely do not need him on the mound. So if I was the LA Dodgers, I'm totally on board with it. Take your time, ease your way into it. You are our key marquee player. we need you healthy. We need you ready to go. And that, to me, is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's fair enough. And to what you're alluding to here, Yamamoto, Sasaki, Snell, Glasnow, May, that's going to be the rotation
Like,
again the
what
year.
the fuck? Like, you don't even need anybody else in that rotation.
No, and I absolutely hear what you're saying, and I think it is inevitably the smart choice where, like, we just don't want to rush you back. We don't want to hurt you again. But it would be very nice to see Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Now, I wonder this, too, and I thought about this. Last year when he stole 50 bags, hit 50 home runs, had the beautiful 50-50 season, first ever in MLB history. I wonder if he would be able to do that while also pitching on the mound, because he's had some crazy war years himself. We were just looking at this with just being on the bump. Like back in 2022 when he didn't win MVP, he had a pitching war of 6.2. Even in 2023, 3.9. But like, imagine if you paired up what he did last year with, like, let's say an average pitching war of, let's say, 4, 5, 4.5. Dude, it's just the remarkable stuff you'd be seeing from Ohtani.
Yeah. Again, like, yes. Totally, I hear you. I think it's tough to just like lock that in though, immediately, because to your point, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it possible for him to do both?
Listen,
is the result of last year because he didn't pitch?
Yes, and also no, because again, when you look in 2023, we're talking about somebody that had a OPS of well over 1,000 and still hit 44 home runs and still did steal 20 bases, not as much as the 59 that he stole last year, but still great season offensively speaking, regardless.
Right. Yeah.
For me, I years ago said that what he has already done is impossible, and then he went and he did it, and it's like, oh shit, okay. So I don't want to say that anything is impossible for this guy. However, things are going to get harder with age. Like 59 stolen bags, that alone is like a tall athletic task to ask your body to do when you are 30 years old. Then you also want to throw 100-odd innings off the mound, and then you're also expected to day in and day out, drive runners in and hit 50 bombs and do all. It's a lot. It is a lot. If anyone's capable of doing it, I'm sure it's Shohei Ohtani. But, I mean, eventually Father Time will catch up and say, hey, man, enough's enough.
That's the thing. Like, I think if you're taking care of your body, which he is right now by not rushing back the pitching, and they need his bat in the lineup. If he does that, then he should be fine. Because, I mean, this guy's a human frickin' specimen. Like, look at this guy. He's an absolute monster. And he's not like a monster like Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton, where he's just big and bulky. He's like a lean, athletic, strong. Yeah, he's just the perfect human specimen.
He's quite literally the perfect athlete. Like, if you could mold to get, like, it's everything, right? Everything is great with him. So again, like, if anyone's capable of doing it, it would be him. But beautiful thing with the Dodgers is that they don't even need him right now. And when you look over, exactly. Yeah. When you look over at who they got for Game 1, folks, let's do a little series preview right here for you guys, considering baseball starts literally tomorrow. They're going to have Yoshinobu Yamamoto there. He had 3 ERA last year in 90 innings, a 7-2 win-loss record. He is up against Shota Imanaga for those Chicago Cubs. So that should be a really good matchup. Both of them great pitchers in their own right, man. And then you were looking ahead and you saw that Roki is going to be in Game 2 up against Justin Steele of the Chicago Cubs there. So, I mean, really excited for the people of Japan getting all of these Japanese players, all together and literally on the bump.
And, of course, you got to make it happen where you're pitching your Japanese players all together, man. Like, it's just going to be an electric series. Now, one thing to note, too, on the Dodge side of things, there is going to be no Mookie Betts in this series. He's actually got an illness and is not going to be playing, so it is unfortunate. The lineup for the Dodgers is expected to go like this. You got Ohtani, Tommy Edman, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Conforto, Rojas, and Andy Paez. And a little note on Conforto, apparently he is hot this spring training. So that's just another addition to that lineup down in the 7th spot. And then on the Cubs side of things, you're going to get a first look at Kyle Tucker batting right behind Ian Happ. Then you got Seiya Suzuki. There you go. Michael Busch, Dansby Swanson, Matt Shaw, shout out the rookie. And then Pete Crow Armstrong. apparently all the people in Japan were chanting PCA, PCA.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? I thought we're all here for Ohtani and all those guys, but there was a big Pete Crow Armstrong fan base in Japan. Can you believe it, man?
Couldn't believe it, but
Dude,
here we go.
They're like, you know what I mean? Like, we think from our perspective, like, you know, in Japan, it's like, oh, like, they're there for the Japanese players, but they are genuine, like, MLB fans.
Well, I'm
too,
sure they have
you know?
their guys that they like,
and
you know?
and it's wild because you would never assume like, oh, like we're gonna be a Pete Crow Armstrong fan. They're gonna be. They just love their game of baseball and they like Pete Crow Armstrong. So shout out.
Fair enough, man. Maybe they just like the way that he plays the game. But
plays hard.
You know, little potential here, a little playoff preview, right? Wouldn't be shocked to see these two teams, you know, squaring up in the you know, divisional series, or hell, if the Cubs really have a great year, you know, maybe even you know.
ALCS
or
NLCS.
NLCS, thank you right there. But yeah, both really good squads, man. Wouldn't be shocked to see the Cubs take one here, but that Dodgers lineup is pretty filthy.
Yeah, I know there's people out there that are thinking that maybe the Cubs go and do an upset here, and they absolutely could. It's only a 2-game series, really, but I mean, with the power of Japan and you know, Shohei Ohtani already doing great things in the exhibition games recently. Man, I don't know. Dodgers 2-game sweep feels pretty good to me.
Listen, as much as they love PCA, the crowd is going to have a favorite that they are behind here, and I can assure you that it is going to be the LA Dodgers, folks. But you guys let us know what you think about all this in the comments down below, guys. Who are you riding with, Dodgers or Cubs in this one?
Well, let's give it a shout out to Betway, everybody. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code right here on the screen or click the link in the description to join the action. Only available in Ontario. It must be 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Yeah, tomorrow, which is 6 a.m. our time, Eastern Standard Time, you got, like you said, Shota and Yamamoto going up against each other. The favorites right now, of course, are the LA Dodgers. The money line is 1.66. The money line for the Cubs is 2.25. Who would you have if you had to pick one of those?
Yeah, give me the LA Dodgers. I believe in it. Yoshinobu Yamamoto's elite, and I trust the crowd on this one.
Yeah, and honestly, Yamamoto too. I forgot to mention this, but like he's got to be able to stay healthy this year too. Only 90 innings. Like this is a good year for him. He's got to be able to stay on that bump. And be worth the money.
Yeah, 100%. I think he will, man. I think he's gonna get the rest necessary with that bullpen. And then again, if Ohtani comes back, then you're talking about 6 days rest, and like everyone should. That should help everybody out.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please hit that like button and subscribe to Bad for Baseball, guys, and we'll catch you next time.
Cheers.